Now, the select distinct statement in SQL Server is used to return only distinct or different values within a column or combination of columns. So it's particularly useful when you have duplicate values in your table and then you want to list only unique values for analysis, reports, and data cleaning purposes. Now, let's extend our employees table by adding a new table called projects. So where employees can work on multiple projects and thus their names might appear more than once in the if we query the project assignments. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a table called project. Let's create a table projects. And then the table projects, we're gonna have the project ID, which is int. Let's just make it a primary key, and then it's also identity. And then we're gonna have the project name, which is varying characters. Let's make it 50. And then let's have the employee ID, which is the integer. And then we're gonna go ahead and insert the record in the project. So we can say insert into a projects, insert into projects, and then we want to insert the project name and the employee ID. And then the values will be, let's say we've got project alpha, and then the employee one is the one that is actually doing the employee with the ID one. Then we've got a say project beta. And then perhaps we've got, let me just copy this. So we've got project gamma, employee one. So you can see that now employee one has multiple projects. And then perhaps we've got project delta. So it's employee three. And then let's add one more, and last one. So we've got project epsilon. All right, so it's gonna be a, yeah, let's leave it at 2. Now John and Jane, if we look at the previous query, John and Jane, we've got employee 1 and 2, they've got multiple projects according to this. Okay, so I'm gonna just execute this. Now, okay, I forgot something on the table. I just want to create a relationship between the two tables. So I'm gonna just quickly alter the table projects and then just add a foreign key which is the employee ID. Let's just go back there, and I just want to add this as the foreign key. That is referencing references the employees and then the employee ID there. ID. Okay. Projects. Oh, excuse my spelling. It's projects, and then there we go. All right. So we just establishing the relationship between the two tables. All right. Now going back to this example, what you're doing. So imagine that a you're a teacher collecting permission slips for a field trips for maybe classroom of the students. Some of the enthusiastic students might hand you multiple slips, right? Because they are very excited and they forgot they've already given you one. So when it's time to see who has handed in their slips, you might make a list of the students who have submitted at least one slip without repeating the names for those who submitted more than once. So in this analogy, the permission slips are like the records in the project table. So the students would be like the employees. So you are making a list of students without duplicate. It's like using select distinct query to list the employees that have projects. Just like you don't need to count how many slips each student submitted, but you just want to know who has a project, like according to the employees, who has a project assigned to them. Um, so it helps you select distinct, it helps you to identify entries. In this case, it's going to be the unique employees. All right, so what we're going to do now, so to illustrate this better, we've actually altered our table and then we added a foreign key to retrieve distinct data from the uh, data using what we call inner join. All right, we will talk about joins later on. So we will actually refine our database structure a little bit, uh, which uh, which we've already done, and then we kept the employees table and the projects tables, and then we just introduced the relational structure that links these tables through the employee ID, allowing us to actually efficiently join the data across them. Um, so now the foreign keys constraint that we actually added here ensures that all the entries in the projects table reference a valid employee ID from the employees table. So now suppose we want to get a list of unique employees who are working on projects, including their names and their and the projects that they are working on. We'll use the inner join to combine the data from the employee table and the projects table. And then we're going to use the distinct to ensure that each employee is listed only once, and even if they work on multiple projects. All right, so let's do that example. So I'm going to go ahead and add a new query. Then we're going to say select um, distinct, select distinct, and then we can just say e dot um, let's say name, and then from employees, e, and then we can use the inner join projects p on e dot uh, employee ID, where is p dot uh, employee ID. Then we can execute. Basically, on this query, the joins that we use on the employee table or E uh, and the projects table P, we join them on their common field, which is the employee ID. Now, so we select the name from the combined data, ensuring that each employee appears only once in the result, regardless of how many projects they are associated with. The inner join that we've used, this is an SQL clause that is used to combine rows from two or more tables based on a related column between them, which is in our case is an employee ID. Um, Now it only includes rows where the join condition is true. Okay, and then the distinct that we use there is applied to the result of the join. Distinct, it ensures that the results are unique based on the column selected. So in this case, we've got the name, only the name appears once. So if the employee is working on multiple projects, they will still appear only once in the query result set, because assuming we're looking for employees that have got projects that are assigned projects. Now think of it of a school where students, all right, sign up for different clubs or projects. So each student can join multiple clubs, but you are tasked with creating a unique list of students who are part of any club. You see, so using the inner join is like laying out a big spreadsheet on the floor with two lists, one of the students and one of the cloud membership. So you draw the lines in between the students and the clubs they join. Now you want to make sure a new list of students who are in the club, but you don't want to list a student more than once. That's basically what we are doing here. Even if they have multiple clubs, even if they've joined multiple clubs. So the distinct keyword that we've used here helps to ensure that each student name is written down just once, regardless of how many clubs they have joined.